between two years. Hi, buddy.
Hey, thanks for having me, Mike. I'm
Yeah.
excited to be here.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. I'm stoked. I love your work, and I've been kind of following you for a couple of years. I'm excited to hang out. You are season 2, episode, I think, 13. Oh, my God. This is going
Lucky
quick.
number 13.
Yeah. I actually switched, and I think you were 14 or 12, and I switched yesterday. I went over to Tim C's house yesterday.
Yeah, Tim and I roomed together in Nsika, and I think both of us slept hard enough where we didn't know if each other snored.
Yeah.
So it worked out well. But yeah, Tim's a good guy.
That's funny. I'm going to Nsika with my buddy Marshall this year. And last time we went in Cleveland, he was a snorer, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Oh man, I usually only have issues if like I'm like a mouth breather. You know, like I don't normally snore super loud.
Yeah.
Occasionally, I mean, my wife would be a better person to ask, but
yeah.
I mean, I just told Tim, like, you can throw something at me, and that's okay. And he's like, I might take advantage of that.
He is fun, isn't he? I like that guy.
Yeah, Tim's a hoot.
I mean, we laughed the entire time. So I think this thing is recording. This other part's recording over here. I don't know what it's doing. We'll see what happens.
Cool.
Yours is fuzzy on your side, but I think when we end it fixes itself. So I'm not worried.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, yours looks like slight fuzziness, but not illegible fuzziness.
I can see your outline. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it fixes
okay.
itself. So we should be good. Yeah, cool. So where are you coming to us from? Are you in Wisconsin?
I am in the booming metropolis of Arena, Wisconsin. Population like 850.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so tiny little town. It's like a half an hour west of Madison. If you don't run into any farm implements on your way out.
Yep.
You know, I'm a big fan of when somebody's got like their disc harrow on. I'm right off of State Highway 14 or US 14.
Yep.
And like disc harrow right down like State Highway. Like there's no other road to drive on, and it's just like.
Yeah. We got lots of farms in upstate New York. A lot of dairy, a lot of corn, and it's the same thing. What did you call that thing? The discer?
Yeah, a disc harrow. Yeah, the big. It's usually in the springtime you see them, but it's the big. It's got the big discs on it that tills everything up, so they're ready to plant, and they're the super wide things.
I actually watched a really cool documentary on no-till farming. Have you ever seen that?
I know of no-till farming. I'm not sure how much that works, like at the scale of large commercial stuff. I mean, I'm sure some folks do it. I don't know.
Yeah. I would think probably on a smaller farm it would make more sense, but it was a pretty interesting documentary.
Yeah. I don't till my raised beds, and they do fine.
It's so funny. Like my stepdaughter and the kids would go away for vacation, and she was like, "What are you going to do while we're gone?" And I was like, "I'm going to watch a documentary on soil erosion." What else am I going to do?
Right?
I love that stuff. They think it's weird.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. Shortly after, so my wife and I have been married for like 11 years now, and it's like it did not take long for her to realize, like, if she was out of town, like, oh well, what are you doing? And like 90% of the time, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get X done in the studio, or like do some project that's probably not advised.
I always say I'm going to poop with the door open and watch what I want on TV.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of projects not advised, I was geeking out down your Instagram there. I saw you chopping up some trees.
Once or twice.
Yeah. You cut down a lot of trees. You fell a few in your life, or?
A few. I'm using Brooklyn Red, super red clay right now, which is what I primarily use for my electric fired work. My 2 electric motors are behind me there. But my wood fired work, it's I don't want to pay for wood.
Yeah, no.
It's expensive when you need a few cords of it. So,
well, absolutely.
Yeah. A few years ago, I was out in Northern California at Cobb Mountain Art and Ecology Project as a short-term resident, and that was a lot of fun. And a big part of that was like the forestry, wildfire management.
Uh-huh.
You froze. Is everything still looking good on your end?
I lost you.
Oh,
Here, let's try leaving this guy. Let's leave that. See what that does. Try to leave it on my side, on my extra camera there.
okay.
I'm still going.
Okay. Yeah, you're just standing like this. But I hear everything. So.
Let's see.
Yeah.
What can we do?
I forgot to grab my tools. That's like classic Potter problems, right?
Right, I know. I thought I was going to change the name of my Instagram to Looking for Tools. Andy. It says
So my
record.
solution to not looking for tools is my absurd tool cart that I have.
Well, let's see. That's pretty weird. Am I still frozen on your end?
Yeah. Do we need to take two?
Yeah, I can always piece these together. This the editing app in this is super easy.
Okay.
How do we do that? Let's just.
Tell me what you want me to do.
I'm thinking I should hit stop and then sign back out. And do you have the link? You can try to sign back in.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, I'll hit stop. We'll try again.
Okay.
Okay, bye. There we go. Now we'll see what happens.
Right.
We did a couple of takes with Michael Hall. Do you know Michael's work?
I do. After watching you and him chat the other day.
Yeah. He makes really cool shit. So his Wi-Fi wasn't working in his studio, so we tried a couple times. And we said, let's get back to it, and we'll do it from your apartment. So he did it from his house.
Yeah, I mean, I've done all sorts of like live streamed down, whatever out here, and it's usually fine. Like we've got one of those like mesh things that makes sure I have good reception. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. What's the worst that can happen? I turned off this extra camera, so hopefully that'll help. Maybe I confused it. Probably should have tested it before we started. But I was watching you chop wood. You generate some serious axe head speed, sir.
So here's my suggest. So I'm a big fan of the Fiskars. All their stuff is great.
Yep.
But they have their splitting axes, their long ones. I think it's like I'm looking at it right now because it's hanging up in my studio. But I think it's a 3-foot handle or 30 inches maybe.
Yep.
And the actual head is only like 5.5 pounds, I think. So most splitting malls are like 8 or 10.
Oh, okay.
And the thing with that is if you're splitting a whole bunch of wood, like it's just heavy, and it gets, if you're doing it for hours, it's really tiring. Whereas the extra length gets the axe head moving a lot faster, so you actually have more force hitting the stump or the round than you would
the round thingy
with just a heavy short-handled maul.
That's interesting. That happens. That same kind of phenomenon, obviously, I guess, happens in golf clubs. Like the heavier the handle, the lighter the head. The heavier the head, the lighter the handle. So it's you kind of make up for that weight. Like you can swing a lighter club faster, but it doesn't hit the ball as hard. If that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah.
When I was watching you hit the axe, I said, "Man, he should play golf. You would kill the ball."
Yeah.
You're a big fella. What are you, 6? How tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
Oh, okay. Yep. My freaking brother's like 6'2". I'm like 5'9" at best. My buddy, we were playing the golf.
I think that's above average still, isn't it?
Thank you very much. I am an average white fella. My buddy always makes fun of me. We were playing golf last year, and he goes, if you were 3 inches taller, you'd be a perfect circle. I'm like, why are we friends? Do you have some friends like that where you're like, I don't know why I like you?
Oh, yeah.
They're the best ones.
Yeah,
I tell them,
there's a lot of mutual tolerance to shenanigans.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the most fun of it. I always tell them, I say, I have 2 friends and it's one too many. And then I say, you're the one too many. That's what friends are for. So anyway, you were saying you use different clay for wood firing. You do a lot of wood firing, don't you?
Um, Not as much as I'd like.
Okay.
I was doing quite a bit, and then we have a 15-month-old daughter.
Yeah.
Uh, so uh, that's kind of put a little bit of a cramp on the number of firings I'm doing per year. Um,
Yeah, absolutely.
but
Esther Rose, right? What a beautiful name.
Esther Rose, yeah.
Esther Rose. And she is super cute, man. You're going to have so much fun with her.
Yeah, she's adorable, and she, convinces all the ladies at Costco to give her extra free samples of croissants and stuff like that.
That's great. I have a whole list of stuff we can chat about here, but I have a feeling we're just going to chat away. So you said, I was watching your Instagram there. You trim pretty wet.
I do. I have found that it lets me continue to manipulate the feet on the pots.
Yeah.
So some people, when I've taught workshops and whatnot, some participants, after they kind of get used to it, are like, oh, I really like this. It gives me a lot more options. Like once you're done trimming it, you can still move things around a lot more, and you're not worried about cracking and breaking stuff.
Yeah.
Because crack kills.
Crack kills, especially in clay.
Yeah. So it lets me get away with stuff like pushing in. So when I fasten them, they end up with these undulating rims on the top. So
yeah,
I end up pushing in and kind of scalloping the feet as well. So it lets me get away with doing that without breaking things.
I love how free your stuff looks. I was watching you facet and push out a bowl. A lot of times when I facet something, I like to really dry my inner hand and make it kind of skip so it kind of pulls it around.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it twist, but you do that. I love what you did, actually. I was looking at your pictures, and you did you faceted from about an inch down, and you had you left the rim for the picture, which was brilliant.
Yeah. So I think we have a mutual pot crush in Matt Sheeman, who no longer makes pots.
Matt, he needs.
I wish I would have gotten one of his pictures.
Dude, I asked him. He's like, I got nothing left. I said, I'll buy whatever you got.
Yeah.
I'd love to get one of his guitars. His guitars are beautiful.
Yeah, if I knew more than 5 chords, I'd consider it.
I've tried to learn guitar so many times. Freaking hard.
Yeah.
So you do you know Matt?
Yeah. I mean, not I took. Oh, let's see. It would have been in 2017, 16.
Yep.
A while ago now. Him and Eric Botbull and Todd Pletcher, who's out in California now. He's not making as much work. I think he works for Clay by the Bay. So he does a bunch of running their studio stuff instead of making work. But they taught a 3-day handle workshop at Todd's old studio in Goshen, Indiana. Wow. So I took that was still when I was teaching full time. So I ended up taking a vacation day to get out there. And then 3-day handle workshop.
Dude, that's another pottery crush, Bot Bill. Oh my God.
Yeah, he makes nice stuff.
Just crazy. I just made a couple of bottles that looked like his because I saw his bottle. I'm like, oh my God, that's a cool form. So I tried it in the old Mike Griffin way, and it didn't look as good as his.
Yeah.
You're close.
Yeah, he's really good at getting the, kind of asymmetrical. There's a word for it in, sculpture and paintings for figurative stuff, but I can't remember the word.
But, the law of thirds type thing?
No, it's something else. It's like the Statue David, right? Is that Michelangelo, whoever? But how if your shoulders dropped, your other hips up.
Yeah.
I don't know what. There's a word for it.
Oh, okay. I gotta look that up.
Yeah. But he's good at kind of if this part his pictures You know, like if this part's kind of doing this thing, the other part's doing this thing, and it adds a really good amount of like movement, I think, to the pieces.
Yeah, it sure does. And then he textures the hell out of them, like with like a fork.
Oh my god, yeah. During the workshop, he used like your grandma's old crappy steak knife that has the like varying serrations.
Oh
I was like, all right, the kitchen's like the best place to find pottery tools.
Speaking of pottery tools, I don't know if you saw that the show is sponsored by Speedball now.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, dude, it's so fun. And here, I can't show you the other camera. I got a million of these things today. Hold on. Look at all these underglazes.
Oh, fun! Did they send you the whole rainbow?
Oh my God, they sent she was like, "Well, do you want one of every one?" I'm like, "No."
Too late.
Yes, I got like, dude, I'm so excited. I got some really cool greens. Like there, she sent me a pastel line.
Huh.
So this is like this yellow is like a saffron.
All right.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to mess with these. I don't know. I like color. I was thinking probably because it's in Rochester, New York, and it's gray up here 7 months a year.
Yeah.
But they sent a bunch of these things. I don't know if you ever seen these Boss bases.
No, what is it?
I'm dying to try it, but I'm going to give them away. Actually, it's one of these tools. You've probably seen these before.
Oh, is that Rich?
Yeah, Rich Brown.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's kind of genius. When I saw it, I'm like, well, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
So,
they're neat. It's a good tool.
Yeah, sure is. Why not? I'm gonna give it a shot. And I think they have different depth bases on them too. Like you can go deeper in, but I don't know.
They're not like adjustable or something.
I think some of them have like a screw here. You can go up and down. This one is just cut to 3/8.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Dude, I was throwing today, and I also have so I used 308, and I also used a 266, the Umbria, the black.
Okay. Yeah, that one. But,
oh, it's just beautiful clay. It's kind of like a black porcelain. It's wild. And I don't know what it was. I ended up emailing Standard saying, here's the line number. Is it just me, or is there like some hard spots in some of this clay? Because it wasn't like a bubble. Like a bubble, you can go in with a needle tool and pop it. I'm not a big wedger either. I just throw it on there. I wheel wedge.
mm-hmm.
I just throw it down,
Yep.
And God, it was like pissing me off. I think it just has hard spots.
I think they need to use better bags.
Better bags?
Oh, the standard bags are like the cheap. Yeah, I don't know. The number of times that I've gotten like, because I usually get, the place that I can get the standard from is about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
From me. It doesn't make sense for me to pay for shipping usually because I end up getting out that way anyways. It's near Milwaukee. So like I'll just drive with my like trailer. So I just picked up 1,500 pounds right before
nice
cold weather set in. And the number of times that I've like gotten stuff and I'm like, oh, this box hasn't dented. And I was like, I'm going to open that one right away and make sure the bag's not ripped. Cause
yeah, that's an interesting point because I also have a Laguna that I use for the longest time and I've never had that issue with it. And you're right. The bags are thinner, aren't they?
Oh yeah. And they don't use twist ties, which that I'm not going to fault them on because they just kind of like put them in upside down and the weight's going to seal it as good as anything. But yeah, there was somebody I was talking to, they're like, oh yeah, I do this. And then I double bag all of my clay. And I'm like, all right. I try to not have it sitting around that long, but
yeah. So you were saying in your work, you generate a lot of reclaim.
Yeah.
So did you trim so much because you fasted so much or both or?
Yeah. I don't know if I like inherently enjoy trimming necessarily. I mean, it's just another part of the process, but I like having nice substantial feet.
Yeah. Like a deep foot.
Yeah. So it's that, and like I have to clean up the bottom from the facet marks and like where the cheese slicer f's up the bottom stuff.
Yeah.
So between that and the facets, so like these are like usually right around 16-ounce mugs, so they're pretty like decent sized.
Mm-hmm.
And I start with 1 3/4 pounds of clay.
Okay.
And I think I cut off about a half a pound off of each one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just like doing the faceting. That's not even the trim. So
Tim,
like,
Tim and I had this conversation yesterday because I'm not a trimmer. I'm a rasper. And he was like, "Oh, you dirty rasper." I don't know. I used to trim, I was telling my stepson the other day, he was doing a puzzle on the table. And I'm looking at the puzzle pieces and I said, "You know what I do?" I was like, I separate them into colors, right? So then when you're like, well, that's a red piece. It's over here, right? And he just kind of grunted and didn't listen to me. And then I came back an hour later and he had done it. And I said, dude, I have spent my entire life trying to find the easiest way to do everything. It's my goal,
I think that's most males, I think.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
I'm stereotype on that one.
I mean, the best parking spot possible, right? So anyway,
I spend more time looking for a better parking spot than if I just parked.
Yeah. Now it's funny. As I got older, my daughter says, "Dad, why do you park so far away?" I said, "Because we're fine. I'm like, I can walk. I'd rather walk 10 spaces than have to squeeze in between somebody."
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
That's the other thing. I'm like having to get into like the back seat to get the kid out of the car. I'm like, oh, I need to like open the door all the way. This is a problem.
I was just thinking, isn't it funny? Like when you're younger, all you want to do is be around other people, like nightclubs and stuff. And then when you get older, you're like, just get away from me. I want to go home and put my socks on. When did this happen? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely far more in favor of like, I'm like, my wife likes to joke that I'm too extroverted for my own good because I've like only ever lived by myself for like 3 months, grand total.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I'm much more a fan of like hanging out with a couple people than going out. It's
yeah. My wife, when we go to the dinner parties and stuff, she just looks at me from across the room. She goes, "You leaving?" I go, "Yep." Like, she just knows it, I go, "At least I say goodbye now." Yeah. So here's a bowl. Like I just, so I just tap the bottom, like Sunshine Cobb does with you just go boom, 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 and that. And then I just rasp it with my rasper thing, and I can shape it and shave off all the weight I want, and I can leave weight in certain spots. And honestly, that's what gives me the texture that I love so much too. So it's kind of like a win-win-win situation with one tool.
Yeah, and the little like schnibbles that they make are like super easy to slake up and reclaim.
Very
like,
true.
Big hunks of stuff.
Yeah, schnivels. Is that what they are?
Schnibbles? Yeah, I think that's the technical term, right?
Let me write that down. Is that SCH or
yeah?
It's
probably Yiddish, I think. I don't know.
Yes, absolutely Yiddish. It's vakakta, as they say.
You're probably much better living in New York than I am in Wisconsin. So.
I grew up on the North Shore of Long Island. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And a lot of Mama Lukes, we used to call them. A lot of my buddy Louie in high school. When he was 16 years old, he had a bodyguard in high school.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, he was pretty well connected. I think his dad's company might have paved the Long Island Expressway. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was nice to Lou. Louie, how you doing? You didn't want to mess with him. So what else do you do? Are you a teacher? Are you a full-time potter? What do you?
So I've been full-time potting since spring of 2018. So, the brief history is I went to school for chemistry. Taught high school chemistry for 6 years.
Oh wow!
And just really burnt out.
I was going to say you made it 6. I'm impressed.
Which is above the average. It's only like 4 years or some crazy thing like that now. It's depressingly short. Yeah.
Dude, I don't know what's going to happen in the future. It's going to be weird.
This would be probably a better conversation to not have.
Yeah, we'll have this at NCICA. Yeah. You're right.
the U.S. school system has, like, the direction that things are headed is not grand.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, good. We'll finish that in a secret. You're right. So you said chemistry. Do you make your own glazes?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Sweet.
So that's some of the workshops that I teach. I've taught a few glaze classes and workshops and stuff like that, which is
Good.
a lot of fun.
Speaking of which, that is that a blue wood ash that you use on that big jar? What was that? The jar that the picture on your Instagram from Highland, the place that sells your stuff, that one with the big knob.
I think that one's electric fired.
Stop it.
Yeah. I think that one's Conate Electric.
That like
Let me grab something.
it's like a grayish blue. You also had a mug on there too that was like a really nice soft white.
It's like that color?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep, that's electric.
How do you get it look so like soda fiery like that?
Well, so that is it's a magnesium matte glaze, so it's like a microcrystalline matte.
Okay.
It's like satiny gloss if it cools fast.
And is
And
that
it's like cobalt blue, so it's a cobalt magnesium, like purple or lavender.
Yeah. No, I love it. Was that on Brooklyn Red?
I think that's on Reclaim of Brooklyn Red because it looks a little lighter. And I'm firing at cone 8.
Cone 8. Okay.
Yep.
Why do you go to 8? Is that where your body starts, or?
So the Brooklyn Red is a little tighter, which is nice, but also the white stoneware that I use from our little local clay maker, Paoli Clay Company, is pretty tight at cone 8. Like it's like Matt, I'm sure Matt Katz would have something to say about this, but it's like 0.8%.
Yeah.
Which is not 0.5 or less.
Trust me, Matt is not watching this show.
Probably not.
Yeah, I know his wife. I know them really well. I used to work with Rose, his wife.
Yeah.
We worked in the factory together. Actually, I was the production manager, and she was in charge of all the glazes. Actually, for the tile, we did tile.
Yeah. It's the interesting thing is like. So in college, I didn't start ceramics until my senior year of college.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had taken my junior year. I had 2 14-credit hour semesters, but I had 3 lab classes. So I was in like a classroom setting, like 22 hours a week.
Oh wow!
Because I had so much lab.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, I'm going to do something for fun and get the rest of my like liberal art credit out of the way. So like one of the weird things is I went to a liberal arts school, Luther College. But it's, so I have a Bachelor of Arts in chemistry.
Okay.
So like when I was like when I was still teaching and like had to apply for jobs and stuff, a couple of times folks are like, how do you have a Bachelor of Arts in science?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Yeah.
It was like because I had to take art classes.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You know?
Yeah,
because I'm a well-rounded person, I guess.
So you fell in love with clay?
Yeah, I spent my whole senior year dusty as heck and late to the rest of my classes.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? You're the first artist that has gone from like academia to clay. It's a lot of. I probably had 6 or 7 guests on this show that were painters, and then went to clay because they had to take some sort of clay class or something, and they fell in love with it.
Yeah, the arts building at the college had the wheel throwing or like the clay studio was on a hill, so it was like the floor of it was a couple feet under ground level, but then the whole room was all these giant picture windows with like big ledges. So like there was always work stacked on the ledges.
Yeah,
you were walking by, you'd look in there and you'd see like 20 people in there throwing during class time or like whatever. And I was like, I hadn't played with clay at all since like maybe middle school or freshman year in high school. You
Yeah.
know, and which I liked it, but it was never like I never was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go do art to
Yeah.
make a living. Um, and so I like let's see, it was like end of my junior year, and I had a friend who was taking the wheel throwing class, and I was like, hey, can I like try this to see if I want to take the class or not? And like I was like, oh, this is fun. And then she kind of like looked at me and she was like, you've never done that before? And I was like, no. And she's like, because that's like an actual bowl.
Dude, I gotta
like,
say,
now she ended up like trimming it for me. So it looked like I have it on my shelf over there, and half of it was in a cone 10 glaze and half of it was in a cone 6 glaze. So half of it's like completely chalky and effed up.
so I gotta tell you a funny story. I didn't touch clay. I went to Alfred, but I didn't go there for clay. I went there for theater and just to get drunk, really, which I did very well in. Got an A+ in that class.
Yeah.
But I was working at a coffee shop a couple of towns over, and in the basement of the coffee shop was a clay studio, and this lady Marcia was teaching classes, and we had a slow moment. So I went downstairs with a cup of coffee, and I was watching these old ladies take a class, and I'm watching this lady throw on the wheel, and I look at her and I go, "That looks really fun. Can I try that?" And she said, "Sure." I said, "Well, center it for me, because obviously that's the hard part." So she centers a piece, and she gets up and she goes, "Go ahead." And I sat down, no kidding, Andrew, and I went whoop, and I threw a ball. And she said the exact same thing to you. But to me, she goes, "You've never done that before?" I said, "No." She goes, "Most people don't do that." And this one old lady, she goes, "You asshole." She was mad at me. I was like, "Sorry." And then it was instant. Now I got to do this more,
Yeah, I found so when I was so we used to live in Milwaukee for 8 years while my wife was working on her PhD, and so I was teaching at a community clay studio for a number of years, and whenever I teach like the Wheel One classes,
Yeah.
inevitably there's always like one person in like a class of like 14 people that's like you're catching on real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people just have that eye-hand coordination.
Yeah, and I feel like, and this is not like all encompassing, but I feel like there's a lot of folks that work with clay that are like relatively athletic or like enjoy doing things that require some like hand-eye coordination. Not saying
Yeah.
that they're pro athletes or anything, but
Yeah. It is like a game,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's kind of like a game.
yeah, and I feel like the sort of like it's a very physical art form, and
Yeah.
so some of that physicality is.
So do you know who Val Cushing is?
I do.
Val Cushing was I knew Val for a long time. He was one of my friend's fathers. So I got to know Val as just Val. I didn't even know he was a potter. I didn't know he was famous. He was just my buddy's dad,
Yeah,
which was a really cool way to get to know him because he was just the nicest guy in the world. But I remember watching one of his throwing videos that he did when he got older. And in the video, he said, somebody asked me once, "Does it take strength to throw?" And he goes, "And I used to say no." He goes, "Then I got older." It definitely does. But
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think there's definitely like a lot of it's technique though too, and like I don't know, I just like if it's too hard to move the clay around, use softer clay.
yeah, I got an idea.
Like
That's funny.
that's one of the things I think that we talked earlier about the standard bags, like the hard clay. That's one of the things that drives me nuts. Is like I found I think they're like batch numbers are dates
Oh,
on the stamp. Like it says the cone, and then there's a 6-digit number, and I'm pretty sure that's like the manufacture date for it.
yeah.
And when we moved, so we've lived in this house for 3.5 years now, and When we moved, I probably had a couple 100 pounds of clay that moved with me, which I don't recommend anybody do if you can avoid it. But, and then I had gotten more clay or whatever, and then like I kept finding like random boxes or bags that were like, God, why is this rock hard? And these other ones are like fine. And then I was looking at it and I'm like, I think these are dates. And the hard ones were all like, oh, this is from like 2021?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it was the box on the bottom that had always been the box on the bottom for like the last 4 years that just never got done.
You know what I learned? That one little trick to that I watched somebody do after years of making pots and going, God, you know, when you learn something or you see somebody do something and you go, it just kind of pisses you off. You're like, you know, why did I not think of that? It's stupid. It's just taking the bag and slamming it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you got to like liven the clay back up.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew.
Yeah, it happens a lot more with porcelain, or I've found.
Okay.
So,
speaking of porcelain, that's, you know, we were talking about falling in love with throwing on the wheel. I fell in love with the challenge of it. You know, like you were saying, the eye-hand coordination kind of sportsy thing. I loved how hard it was, but it was also super hard for me because I learned to throw with what the heck was his name? Super famous guy. I can see his face now. Can't remember his name. Oh, Wayne Higbee. Wayne Higbee scraps. Do you know Wayne Higbee? Did a lot of raku.
I put a name with the pots, but I'm sure I know I recognize both of those things.
He did these really cool raku pots. They were called like landscapes. It looked like had mountains on them. They were beautiful. And he did these huge wall hangings like in airports and stuff. So
cool.
Yeah. But a friend of mine was his studio assistant back when I was first learning how to throw. And he said, hey, man, we got these big bins full of scraps. Do you want it? I said, yeah, man, porcelain for free? Heck yeah. So I'm trying, and I slake it down, and I don't know. I'm just learning as I go. And I'm trying to teach myself how to throw with butter. It was not fun. I got it.
It's like the high price of cheap.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I think I could save a couple bucks.
Yeah.
And then it's like way more effort and yeah.
Yeah. And I lost 2 years of my life trying to figure it out.
Yeah. I had a buddy of mine just moved down to Nashville, and he's getting out of working with clay because he's falling apart.
Really?
He's a little older than I am.
Oh, okay.
But,
yeah.
He's like a construction foreman or something like that now. So, you know, the guy that just watches everybody else do hard work.
Yeah.
But he had a whole bunch of like porcelain casting slip that he's like, you know, sold a bunch of stuff off before he moved, and then reached out to me and was like, hey, I've been slowly accumulating hard brick for a wood kiln. And he had some hard brick, and he's like, oh, I've also got like some of this casting slip and some of this other stuff. And like, I was like, okay, well, I'll take that because I knew what the clay was. Yeah. And then the casting slip, I was like, so that's just like really deflocculated clay. So I ended up just adding some Epsom salts to it, and then mixed it in with the rest of the reclaim, and that stuff was great to work with.
Really? So the Epsom salts,
for porcelain, anyways.
So I mean, I know we use Epsom salts sometimes to keep glazes from settling.
Mm-hmm.
So what did the Epsom salts do to just acted as a flocculant and brought it all back together? Or?
Yeah, kind of. So like, if your clay, like, there's one porcelain I've used that would literally hard pan in like a splash pan if it was sitting there because of, I don't know what was in the clay. It was a commercial body, but it was like really frustrating. Mm-hmm. And then I was also having issues with some of my reclaim getting short. And a few years ago, I did the clay cohorts program. I don't know if you've heard of it. Yeah. Yep. And they had Pete Pinnell come and chat with us.
Cool.
And he had a little question and answer thing afterwards. And I was like, so, you know, me, like my chemistry background, I was like, So I've got this reclaim that keeps going short, and I've tried like adding ball clay or like X, Y, or I wasn't putting any bodily fluids in it because that's a myth. But like,
yeah.
But like, yeah, and I was like, I've tried a few different things, and it's not like I've gotten it to the point where I'm like, it's workable, but not enjoyably so.
Yeah.
And I was like, could I try? And I was like, could I try adding like some Epsom salts to it to see if that like helped? Yeah, so it just basically helps. Let me see, make sure I'm explaining. So like the clay particles have charge.
Yeah, puts the particles back together, right?
So it helps put the charge back onto them. So they're not repelling, so they're attracting to each other again. Because you want them to be attracted to one another so that they're sliding past each other and being plastic.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Kind of like an anti-sodium silicate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Pete Pinnell, I think I saw him do a workshop one time at Alfred. Is he the guy that does all the folding?
I don't think so.
No, I'm sorry. That's Mark Ferris.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I got to watch him do like his, which was really freaking cool. He prints, he draws his pots on a CAD program.
Is it tar paper that he prints out on?
Yes. But when he makes it on a CAD program, and then he has, if you have a good CAD program, you can hit this button it's called unfold, and it goes boop 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 boop, and it just lays it out flat for you.
So and then he just like puts in a 3D thing and then hits a button and just goes.
Yeah, boom, and then he prints that out, puts that on tar paper, traces it, and then folds it up into clay, and then takes the paper off. It's kind of brilliant. So of course, as a self-taught guy, I'm like, I want to try that. So I got a CAD program. It's not that simple.
Oh, man. It's like every time I try to use like Illustrator or Photoshop or anything, and I'm like, I just want to select this one thing and it won't. And then like,
no.
And I'm just, it's never is, I mean, and it's, I'm sure somebody's listening to this and is like, you just hit that one button, you dummy.
Yeah, you dolt.
But like,
it's like the people that talk about Canva too. Just use Canva. I'm like, it's not. No, leave me alone.
Yeah, I was like, I don't have 2 weeks to teach myself how to do this thing.
Yeah,
I want something that does the thing.
So I was actually watching you throw on your Instagram there. You're pretty natural on the wheel. Have you done? I mean, you've obviously thrown a ton, right?
I mean, let's see. I think we're going. Let's see. What is it? 2015. So.
Okay. Wow.
14 years.
So you've been throwing since 2015, you said?
No, I've been since 2011.
Okay. And you've been a full-time potter since 2018. Tell me about that. I think that's something. I think who did I just talk to about this the other day? Maya Rumsey, and I said, "Isn't it every potter's dream to be a full-time potter?" She goes, "I don't think so. You got to be a special person to want to do this to yourself."
Yeah, and if you have a significant other, they have to put up with you. So.
Yep. Yeah, making a mess all the time.
Yeah. So basically, my last 2 years teaching. I was on my last 4 years teaching. I was on the north side of Milwaukee, which is when I was teaching. So this was, a few years ago at this point, almost 10 years ago. The north side of Milwaukee had the largest black-white achievement gap in the country.
Okay.
For a number of reasons that we don't need to get into on the podcast. But it was teaching there was simultaneously one of the most rewarding things I've ever done and one of the most exhausting things I've ever done.
Yeah.
So it's just you can't take things, everything comes home.
Yeah.
There's not, especially a lot of the students that we were working with, some of them, I had a kid who ended up he didn't graduate. He ended up going back and getting his GED, and he was like, like he's like a manager at like, or last time I talked to him, he was a manager at like a clothes store. So like being a productive member of society with a job that he probably makes at least as much money as I do, probably more right now.
Yeah.
But like he reached out to me a couple years afterwards and he was like, thanks for being a hard ass. And like he had, and it was one of those things where he's like, for the 4 years that he was there, he was like, you were probably the only person that I knew was always there, like in his personal life at all.
Yeah.
And like he had mom and dad, but he was, they were divorced and back and forth. And like, mom had other guys around and, like whatever. And dad was a typical like hard ass dad. So, high schooler himself was like, well, I don't want to be at my dad's because he's going to make me do shit.
Yeah. How nice is that though? You totally impacted his life. That's wonderful.
Yeah. So, but, the school that I taught at had this advisory program. So I had this group of young men that was pretty much the same group of about 10 of them freshman year all the way till they graduated. And so it was my third year there. So they were juniors and I was kind of like, it wasn't dealing with them specifically, but just everything. And I was like, I am coming home and pissed or just not
or sad,
a pleasant person to be around. And at that point, my wife was still working on her PhD and we were, talking about like, oh, well, we like want to have a family. And then it's like, well, childcare is expensive.
It sure is. Yeah.
And like, and this was like 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
And like 10 years ago for like mediocre, like acceptable childcare in Milwaukee was like the cheapest would have been like $1,000 a month.
And there's certain things you don't want them to be cheap. Childcare, and eye surgery. Like I don't want a coupon on my LASIK surgery. You know what I mean? Here's 40% off. No, I'd rather pay full price. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're dropping your only child off. You know what I mean? That's terrifying.
Yeah. So like,
go ahead.
They would have been safe, but it's like, anyways. So, I was like, for the amount of money I was getting paid as a teacher, which that's the number one issue is teachers are, underappreciated and underpaid and everything. But, we kind of like looked at how much I was making as a teacher and how much childcare was. And I was like, I think I can make $20,000 a year because that like worked out to be what like the differential would have been.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a pretty low bar.
It's a low bar. Yeah.
And like, thankfully, like my wife has healthcare stuff, so I didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
So
what's her PhD in?
So it's cell and developmental biology.
Oh my God.
Specifically, her research, she didn't do any like wet work. So all of her research is in retinal imaging.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. It's funny. I did, a couple of things. I'm always taking notes when we're talking because I'm always like, it's the same thing when I talk to my wife. I'm like, oh, I just had an idea. And then she keeps talking and I go, oh crap, I lost it. It gets worse. If you've watched the show once or twice, something I say on this show a lot, because we've had a lot of art teachers on the show who are potters. Mm-hmm. And I always say, in my opinion, I think teachers should be the highest paid people on this planet. It's just insane to me that they don't get paid great. They literally are shaping the future of this country and the world. They're making citizens while we go to work.
Yep.
It's just nuts. I just think it's ass backwards, but.
Agreed.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
We'll finish that part at NCECA. We got a lot to talk about NCECA. You're going to NCECA, right?
Yeah, Detroit.
I can't wait.
That's not too bad of a drive from here. So.
I learned my lesson. I got my hotel room like last year. I tried to buy it like the day after NCECA, and I couldn't book it that far in advance, so I had to wait. But I got a hotel.
I'm going to end up in a Airbnb that's probably farther away than I want it to be, but oh well.
I I got a hotel directly across the street
Nice.
because I'm 55 and you know how far you walk. It's like you walk all. My feet are killing me at the end of the day.
Yeah. I'll be. I mean, I'll be driving, so
Yep.
like I'll have my vehicle with me.
Yeah,
So
me
like
too.
it's. I mean, what I've done in the past, anyways, is usually because I'm cheap. Um, is like drive too close to the convention center, and
Yeah.
usually I, like with a little bit of looking around, you can usually find like a parking lot that's like, oh, this one I only have to pay $5 for the whole day
Yeah. Instead of 38. Yeah.
instead of like 65 or some crazy thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, but
My boss just went down to Austin with his son to go to the F1 races down there to Texas,
oh
and
cool.
parking was $100 a day. See you tomorrow. That's what I would have said. Nope.
I'll pay for an Uber, thanks.
Yeah, right.
Holy buckets.
Yeah. So how far is that drive for you?
I think it's around 8,
Oh, okay.
but I think it's also like it could be as short as like 7 or as many as like 11, depending on what happens going through Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah. We
So,
have we have two ways to get there. I'm driving out my buddy Marshall. I can either go up to Canada over the lakes or down and under the lakes. This one is 6 hours. This one's 8 hours. We're gonna do the 8 hour because I don't feel like going up into Canada and across the border and all that stuff. You know?
yeah. Oh,
Oh, you froze.
yeah. I was looking at it. I was like looking
Trying
for
to
the
reach. Aha!
Hey, he's back.
Hey, welcome back, dude. That was weird. I think it was actually Riverside shut down.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like it wouldn't let me do anything. That was kind of weird.
yeah. It's still going, and then there's a little percentage icon in the upper left corner now that just went from like 5% up to 53%. Now it's ticking up. So I
Okay.
don't know if that's like uploading stuff or
Yeah, it's uploading. Mine says 90. It uploads as it goes. So,
okay.
all right. Well, we'll
That's
see.
weird.
I can edit that out.
All right.
I think.
The wonders of technology.
Well, this software. So, episode 1 of this last year, when I first got the idea, I
Mm-hmm.
did on a Zoom call with my friend Marshall, and Zoom is made for Zoom calls. It's not made for anything else.
Yeah.
Oh, it was terrible. Trying to get any like pieces of it to Instagram or share it anywhere was impossible. And in the process of me losing my mind trying to make that work, I found this podcast software and it's great. So
Yeah, I really like the video. It's fun.
it's more
'Cause,
fun, isn't it?
yeah, I feel like there's a lot of podcasts I listen to. You're like, oh, I really wish I could see
Yeah.
like the person's work or an example of what they're talking about,
Yeah.
or without like, oh, well, let me leave and go to the show notes and find the web page or look the person up. Because like, I mean, a lot of times I'm listening in the studio or when I'm like doing random stuff around the house or
Yeah. That makes me
whatnot.
super happy. Meg, Callie, and a couple other people will listen while they're in their studio, and that warms the cockles of my heart that I'm, I'm in their studio with them. That's really fun. But I figured for other people, to watch us work on stuff would be more, rather than just listen to another podcast. I could fall asleep listening to a podcast.
Yeah.
But especially like, pretty well-known artists like yourself and a couple of people that I have on the show, I think they want to see what they're doing. So,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'm, and this is, again, this probably goes back to, like, I still enjoy teaching, even though I'm not teaching anymore.
Yeah.
But, like, when you're teaching, you get really used to doing something while you're,
Yeah.
talking about whatever it is.
Yeah.
So you're always doing that sort of thing.
Well,
Um,
I I started going live on Instagram all the time a couple years ago. And my friends used to make fun of me. They called me Mr. Live, right? Because I was like, well, I'm in the studio. I've had a lot of coffee and I'm by myself. Like, I need someone to talk to. So I would just go live. And then, people would ask me to make stuff and I would kind of teach them as I went. And it was kind of like they were learning.
Mm-hmm.
And then, people said, oh, keep doing that. We're learning so much. So I just did. I don't know, turned into this.
Yeah. Yeah, I back in the day, before Instagram or Facebook had live, there was this app called Periscope.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. That's a flashback, I'm sure, for some of us older folks. But that was super fun because there was like a whole bunch of pottery folks that were doing it. And I was just kind of like, oh, my thing says reconnecting now.
Oh, I can still see you.
Okay, so I wonder if it is Riverside's end of stuff.
It probably is, yeah. I can see you and mine's still going, but I don't know.
Can you... Oh, okay. It was just like weirdly laggy.
Yeah. I don't know. Your camera was getting good and then bad and then who knows? I've noticed in the past that when yours is fuzzy, like I'm looking at you right now and it's kind of fuzzy, but when I upload it, it's fine. So
okay.
Worst comes to worst, we get to do this again, Andrew.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
What was I
Periscope.
saying?
Periscope.
Oh yeah, yeah. So like that was super fun, and like I remember Kevin Kowalski you had on the show.
Yep.
And so I was, we'd chat a bunch, and it's so odd knowing somebody or seeming like you know someone really well because you've literally spent like hours and hours talking to the person and seeing them on a video interacting like you're in a room sitting next to them chatting, but you're not.
Yeah.
And so it was, Minneapolis NCECA, which was my first NCECA. Mm-hmm. And Kevin was going there, and we ended up rooming together. And I remember picking him up at the airport, and I was like, you are taller than I thought you were. He's like 5'7" or something like that, or 5'6".
Kevin is?
Sorry, 6'6". Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like at least, but he's like beanpole-y.
Yeah. No kidding.
But,
I got to message him when he was on the show. I said, "Hey, I want to get Seth Rogen on this show," and he said, "I'll text him for you," and he never got back to me. So.
Oh yeah, I mean Kevin's so busy. Well, between teaching and family stuff and.
Yeah, I actually messaged him the other day just to see how he was doing. He's taking time off. If you notice, you haven't seen him in a while.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing his kiln builds anymore either.
I think he did one like last year.
Yeah, I have to read the message. I think he said he wasn't doing them anymore, which is weird because he was enjoying that. I think.
Yeah.
Hey, life takes its turn. You do what you got to do. You take the next step, right?
Yeah. It's yeah. So I guess circling back to it, basically when my last year or two teaching, I was sitting in my classroom during like my prep period, and like doodling pots in a notebook. Yeah. And then going home and being like, shit, I have to grade a bunch of stuff and do some lesson planning that I didn't get done.
Yeah, because I was drawing pots, yeah.
Yeah. And basically like we looked at cost of childcare and we didn't have a kid yet. We just had a dog or two. And it was kind of like, well, if we're going to see how it works out, let's go for it. And then I vividly remember having a show. And it was like right before Valentine's, February 2020.
Yep.
And it was like a really good show for like weird winter pop-up thing. It was like a one-day little thing in like there were like 4 different there was like a pub crawl art fair.
Yep.
There were like 5 or 6 different venues. It was really cool. But like, I was like, oh, this is going to be the year. I'm like finally hitting my stride. And then we all know how the rest of 2020 panned out.
Yes,
so,
sir. Yeah.
Yeah, that was, there was a brief hiatus where I was not making work full time 2020, 2021 during the pandemic. Basically, my wife was finishing up her PhD, had like a year left, and we were kind of like, I knew a lot of folks that were like just doubling down on online sales stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hate shipping stuff, and I did not have my brain like wrapped around it.
Yeah.
And I'm not a photographer, so like taking pictures of work and just all that, the computer work end of things,
Yeah.
has always been my weak point. But so I was a third shift stocking manager at a Meijer store, so like grocery GM,
Yeah.
for about a year and change. And the interesting thing was I was making as much doing that as I was my last year teaching after teaching for 6 years.
Right. Yeah.
And I felt like my healthcare was like comparable too. Like it wasn't like my healthcare was that amazing when I was teaching,
Yeah.
and I remember thinking, and I was like, I feel like I'm getting paid like what I'm worth for how long I've been doing this job. Like, I feel like this is fair compensation, which just highlighted how underpaid I was as a teacher.
Yeah. Ugh.
But it's, nobody goes into teaching for the money. And
No.
like, I would not want it to become a place where folks were doing it because it was so cushy.
Yeah.
And
No. Yeah.
Because then you get people that don't really want to be there doing it, which is,
Yeah.
not good. But yeah, it's long story short, we kind of went for it, and then a little stumbling around during the pandemic. But it's been, I feel like this past year I'm finally getting resettled after moving. It was like starting at ground zero again is kind of what I felt like.
Well, that explains a lot, because I was looking down your Instagram and I wrote down, and I was like, you do a lot of shows and festivals, and if you're a full-time potter, you kind of got to, don't you?
Yeah, if that's what you're gonna, I'm a masochist, I guess, and enjoy doing art fairs.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's like I don't.
It's a lot of work
unless you want to do that.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of work.
Yeah. And I've been the last year really. This coming year, I'm going to have to make some more changes too, because I'm essentially stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
And then to all the viewers, we might be up past Mike's bedtime.
Yeah. Almost there.
Yeah. So like my only time in the studio usually is like after my wife's done with work, or when she's getting put down for bed. And like I enjoy cooking, so like I don't mind doing the cooking and stuff, and like the other stuff. And part of what is really nice is my wife's pretty much remote at this point.
Oh, that's great.
So she's home all the time now too, and so like it's really great that we can both be around and see all of the cool stuff, because it's just like so much is changing every day.
I think that's the one good thing that came out of COVID, is that people realize that you can be pretty darn productive from home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting. So we moved end of 2021, we ended up moving early 2022, but it was, right when everything was like, everybody was buying houses and the rates were super low.
Yep.
It was like kind of like right after that started to swing up again is right when we moved. So we don't have the lowest mortgage rate, but it's pretty damn good. When we moved, they told her she was going to have to go into the office. So she works for UW-Madison.
Okay.
And you'll have to, come in like 3 days a week. Well, they've changed the remote policy now, and she has to go in like 5 days a year.
Oh, really? Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. It ends up being more than that because of so she's like not a peon, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, Yeah, yesterday she like comes out of her office. It's like 9 o'clock. I'm like getting Esther ready to go down for a morning nap, and she goes, "The server stopped. I have to go in because IT doesn't show up till 10:30." She had to like go in, and she's like, "It needed a hard reset." And I was like, "You mean you had to turn it on and off again?" And she's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
She's
Nobody
like, "Yeah."
that,
That
huh?
was an hour and a half of my morning.
Oh wow! Oh my God! My one of my best friends, guy who I play a lot of golf tournaments with. He's my partner in a lot of two mans.
Uh huh.
He's a really good player. So we win a lot, and he works for United Healthcare, but he makes a ton of money. He's just a VP of sales for the Eastern region or something like that.
Wow. Yeah.
But we went out to dinner the other night, and he's always busting my chops because he makes so much more money than me. You know what I told him? Actually, we play for money on Tuesdays in the summer. So I said, how about we do this? We'll call it an economic handicap. And he goes, what's that? I said, well, you make about 100 times the money I do. So if we're playing for $20, if I win, I get 200. If you win, you get 20. He goes, no. No. But the other day, man, he was like, we went to dinner and he's like, you know what? I think I might have to quit my job. I said, what are you talking about? And he just got a promotion too. And he said, I get 250 emails a day. And he goes, and today I was on conference calls for 7 hours straight. You know? And then he said, in 3 of those calls, I didn't say a word. Like, I said, well, that's what you get for 250 grand a year, I guess. I mean, well,
Yeah,
I'd rather be broke. You know what I mean?
I would probably want to go to my studio and make some pots if I had to deal with that.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I'd rather be broke. There's certain things like, I don't know. I mean, I guess you always kind of want more, but at the same time, being happy is really got to come first, I think.
Yeah, the grass is not always greener, or it might look greener, but you don't know what else is going on.
Yeah. There's this jazz singer I listen to in the studio named Gregory Porter. If you like jazz, check out Gregory Porter. And he's got a song called Brown Grass. It's on the other side, nothing but brown grass. Like everyone thinks it's great because it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're in the Pot Stars pop up.
Yeah.
That's cool. Who organized that? Who started that?
I don't know what the specific
Who's the boss?
Yeah. So I will say that Allie Etheridge does. I don't know what her Instagram handle is off the top of my head.
I know Allie. I know her pots. Yep.
Yeah. People doing things on pots.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Really,
Whatever.
tastefully, and a lot of gold luster and flowers and stuff too. So, but like, she does like a couple other people usually help her out a lot, but I would say that she does like 80% of the actual like making sure we have a venue and like all the stuff that like I, as like an ADHD person, would be like, oh shoot, I should have done that 6 months ago. Oops.
Oh, we're supposed to meet somewhere? Oh shit.
Time's a very nebulous concept in my brain.
Was it last year or last time? I guess. What was the last one? Richmond?
Salt Lake City was the last one.
Oh, well, it was 2 years ago then. Richmond.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about, I go to bed 9:30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been sober it'll be 26 years in February. So back 30 years ago, I stayed up really late. I'm good. I got to catch up on all those years of sleep I lost. But I was at Insika, and I'm like, you know what? It's freaking 8:45. You're in your hotel room, you old bugger. Get up and go to one of these pop-ups and stop being such a scutch and go say hi to people. So I got out of my bed, got in my car, and I drove down to the pop-up. And they're all at breweries, and I don't drink. But I pull into the parking lot, and there's a line down the street and like 400 people in the parking lot. And I went like this, Andrew. I went, nope. It just drove right back out.
Yeah, so there was actually I think it was Richmond. We were at a brewery, and then in the same building was like a cidery.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
so there was actually like another pop up happening at the same time. I'm blanking on what her name is right now. I'm kicking myself in the butt. Kristen. Shoot, I can picture her face in her work right now.
Uh-huh.
She went out to Cobb right after I did. She was like behind the patio fence from me, selling her stuff.
Oh,
Like,
cool. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
they were like, so I'm sure it was a flippin' zoo because I'm sure people were like, oh, they're actually at the same place, but not.
Yeah. I went to the one, and obviously, you know me. Well, now you know me. I love to talk to people, and so I see all these artists at this pop up, and they know me, and they're like, "Hey, Mike," and I'm like, "Hey," and then it's just all of a sudden I'm like just pushed away in a crowd, like, "Oh well, let's talk to you later."
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah,
so busy.
yeah. It's Don't go to a pop up to have a conversation with the folks that are trying to sell stuff,
Nope.
unless you show up like
Yeah, an hour early.
Pop up. And
Or
say,
yeah,
oh, hey, I'd love to chat. Let me help you wrap up whatever's left if you have anything left,
yeah. Well, yeah.
So
I got to get into one of those pop ups. They look fun.
yeah.
I had.
I don't have any wise words to help you with that, unfortunately. So
Dang it.
we have like a list of folks that are for our pop up. Like
Oh, really?
basically after the first year that we did it, we just kind of settled on like 20. We're capping it at 20 people, which is a lot.
That's a lot. Yep.
Yeah. So like we have to find a place that's big enough, which
Mm-hmm.
more than that, it's tough. And then like basically we added a few people the first year. That was basically like we looked at everybody that was in the pop-up and was like, okay, how do we have like a good like broad representation of like different types of work and different types of people, and trying to be as like fair and equitable as you can. And then basically just everybody like threw in a bunch of suggestions, and Allie reached out to a few folks, and then kind of like once folks are like, okay, I'm going to be at next year's or not, then we're like, okay, there's however many slots open. And then
Oh, that's cool.
Basically, if it's somebody that like took a year or two off or whatever and wants to do it again, then like they kind of get first dibs.
Yeah.
Is I think what we're doing. It's nothing. It sounds far more formal than it actually is. Like it's a group chat on Instagram.
Yeah. I applied to one a couple of years ago, and a guy.
We do not have applications.
Well, this was, they sent the thing out saying, "Hey, if you want to be in the pop up, apply." So I sent my name in, and the guy who's on the selection committee messaged me, "Oh my God, I'm so happy to see your name on the list. I love your work." I'm like, "Oh, thanks. I'm a shoo-in. Never got in." Like, what? Yeah, what happened?
Oh man, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So let's look at my list here. What else we got? I got so much more stuff.
They're super fun, but yeah, it's a lot of effort. And like, I know I end up, because I always end up driving, I end up schlepping a bunch of my art fair shelves because they collapse down out with me, and let everybody in the pop-up borrow them, because it's like half the folks are flying.
Yeah.
A couple folks are like from Canada, so it's like, yeah, you want to have a shelf on your table?
Yeah.
So yeah.
You making handles?
I am. So I just roll a coil, or I also have like a hand extruder I'll use sometimes, but I just make a bunch of like, thumb-sized blanks, and then I pull them right off.
Yeah. So, I'm a pincher.
Oh yeah.
Pincher. I like to pinch them. I don't know why. Makes every single one of them different, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
I used to pull handles.
I think mine are all different, but maybe they're more similar than not.
I used to pull them, but in upstate New York, man, I don't know if you have this in Wisconsin. You probably do. It's pretty freaking cold in the winter.
It was -4 today.
Wow, was it really?
Uh-huh.
Ugh.
Thankfully, it wasn't windy at the same time. Otherwise,
but I remember pulling handles and like cold water dripping off my elbow as I'm like Yeah, the water's freezing. You know what I used to put in my water, my throwing water? A fish tank heater. You ever seen anyone do that? Do you have one? Stop it. That's funny. It works.
Oh my God, yeah, 70. Well, yeah, my studio is because I don't have a kiln firing right now.
Yeah.
If I'm firing a glaze kiln, I've come out to like my studio. So this is not what the manufacturers recommend, but I always like get done in the afternoon or nighttime as it is now. But and then I start the kiln, and
Yeah.
then I leave, and then it fires overnight, and then I usually come out and just check on it first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
I do the
and
same thing. Exactly what we're not supposed to do.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's just like I know the program's supposed to take X amount of time. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, everything's hooked up to breakers and things like that. So I,
Yeah.
you hear horror stories, but
Yeah.
the kilns are really good at containing all the bad stuff. Like if something were to happen.
Oh gosh, Tim was telling me some crazy stories yesterday about a kiln that like the legs, it was left on and the legs got so hot they went through the kiln and the kiln fell over sideways, it was all full of tile. No, it melted the linoleum floor underneath and it like curled around it. Yeah. Ugh.
Woo! Well,
You're,
I've got concrete, so I'm not too worried.
you're in your garage, right?
Um, yeah, it is a garage. We have like a detached 2-car garage in addition to our house garage.
Oh, okay.
So I'm in an attached building that's 23 feet by 23 feet on the inside. So it's a 2-car garage.
Very cool. I mean, I have a pretty big space in here and I share it with my wife. She's got a wood studio right there. I'd love to have my own big giant space, but I don't really need it. I mean, you need a 4x8 table. You can make it all happen, you know?
Yeah. I am a firm believer that whatever space you have, you will expand to fill it whether you need to or not.
Yeah, that's so true.
So when we lived in Milwaukee, I was in our basement of our 1947 Cape Cod. So the flooring joists of the upstairs the bottom of the joists were 6'6", and all the ductwork and plumbing and everything was below that. So I had to have my work tables positioned in between ductwork and things. It was awful. Much less the staircase to get down there, and it's when we were moving, I was like, I do not want to figure out how many times or how much weight I've carried up and down these dang stairs. And at that point, my kilns were in our garage.
Yeah.
They weren't in the house. And and it especially sucked in the wintertime.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me shovel away out to the kiln.
Yeah.
It was at least 4 trips per pot, clay in, bisque out, or greenware out, bisqueware to glaze, cleaning up the pots, and then back out to sell, and then maybe back into the house if they didn't, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. My old studio used to be a quarter of the size of what I'm in here. And then when I moved everything down here, I was like, how did I fit all that in there? Holy crap. But it was also up the hill in a little cabin in my backyard. And I would go buy 15 boxes of clay and go, oh boy, now I got to carry these up this hill, 50 pounds a pop, That got
I have a garage door right there.
Yeah.
And this is not my tip, but put everything on wheels, folks.
Yeah.
The only things not on wheels are permanently mounted shelving, my wheels, and my mixer is bolted to the ground. Otherwise, it'd walk away.
Yeah. My kiln is on wheels. You got your kiln on wheels?
No, I guess the kilns are not on wheels.
I got mine on wheels. I got it on that little rack that comes with it, but then I have 2 high-fire alumina shelves underneath it that I've kind of had for years, and I put those on top of a rolling cart so I can push it in and out of the corner.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's slick.
Yeah, it kind of works. But
Yeah,
do you use do you vent yours?
no,
No. At what?
no, which is part of the reason why, especially bisking, I do when I'm not in the studio.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I do have it's. I don't normally. I just make sure I'm like not in the studio when I'm like, especially the first like 1200 degrees, 1000 degrees
Yeah, it
when
starts to really stink at about
I'm
700, doesn't it?
out. Because that's the nasty stuff. Is all the organic material and like sulfur compounds, and
Yeah.
that's the gross stuff.
And that
But that's
so wait, what temp is that? Up to about 1200, you said?
ish, give or I mean, it's probably lower than that. It's probably more like 1000, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's just the bottom part of stuff.
Yeah,
That
I've
all that.
noticed that at about 600-700 degrees, it smells really terrible.
Ooh, yeah, I think about 800, yeah, 700-800 degrees is the sweet spot for a lot of sulfur compounds.
Good to know.
Yeah, which those are the smelly ones. Yeah.
I saw you do a video with that little like that. You had a rasp, but it had like a bendable piece. Where'd you get that? That's awesome. Love the Rolly tool cart too. Yes,
Diamond Core Tools.
that's Diamond Core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the rasp is like, it's more like if you do any like cooking stuff, the nice microplanes, they, like the sheetrock rasps, that come in. I've got one like yours, or like they have like the longer ones or
Oh
whatever.
yeah. Yep.
Work great, but they go dull pretty fast.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, they're cheap, but this is like a really thin piece of, it's like metal rib material
Oh, okay.
that they have cut out. So like, even though you're wearing away material, it's really thin, so it still is like sharp.
Yeah, yeah.
So it removes clay like really well.
Oh, good.
And then you can like, it's just got some 3 little thumb screws, so you can like flatten it or like
Yeah.
change the angle of it depending on what you're working on.
Yeah, I saw that on your Instagram. That's genius. I just wrote that down. I got to get one of those.
Yeah. I use this when I do like slab bases, or I do some hand built stuff, or slab built stuff, or combinations of wheel thrown pieces, and then I do a lot of rasping.
I also saw your Dune helicopter, Lego helicopter. That was cool.
Oh yeah.
Those
Yeah.
things, Dune was a great movie. Great book too.
Yeah, I feel like the newest movies so much better than the like, was it like 80s, early 80s?
Oh yeah.
David Lynch one.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god, that thing was a trip and awful.
That's funny. What am I watching? There's a new Mandalorian's coming out pretty soon.
Yeah. I have not been. Well, yeah, the last 15 months I like haven't watched any TV.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
So it's like, oh, there's new stuff on. I don't have time to do that. I can't. Nope.
What else we got? I love your snack trays. That's a really cool shape. That kind of like half shelf snack tray you had.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I have 2 different shapes. One of them's like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a hunk of. So this came out when I was out at Cobb for my residency. I was using a log splitter and splitting wood, and my gloves. You know how leather gloves have that like patch on the palm?
Yeah.
Well, so apparently it started coming loose, and there was like a twig sticking off a log I was splitting that caught on the pocket of the glove, and I ended up pinching part of my finger in between the log and the end of the log splitter.
Oh God.
Yeah, which it was a little bloody, but thankfully it didn't actually like hit my bones at all. It just like smushed the side of my finger real good. But I was like, oh cool, I'm out here for like a 3.5 month residency, and it was like towards the end of my residency, or like it was getting close to like the last couple wood firings we were going to have. And I was like, I need to be making more work. Like, all I have to do out here is make sure that I can eat, which is not hard to do.
Yeah.
And like make pots. Like, I don't have any like obligations outside of that, which is lovely. But I was like, how am I going to get anything made? Because I couldn't throw. I ended up, I think it took me about 6 or 7 months to get most of the feeling back. Like, I had nerve damage on the side of it. Like it was the whole like half of my finger from basically this knuckle up to the tip was like completely numb. But just on the one side of the finger.
So because you couldn't throw, you were making trays.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, I don't, but like, you know, so I rolling out slabs and putting texture on them, and then I just press them into like memory foam.
Oh yeah, yep. Yep.
Like a million people have done that. But I was like, how do I like make this my own version of it? So I just went and like started cutting some pieces. Like there was some scrapped plywood floating around, and I was like, Scott Parody, who runs it, I was like, I'm borrowing your jigsaw. And he's like, and I was like, it's my left hand that's hurt. My right hand's still good. And I just was like cutting out some shapes and found something that I kind of liked and made a whole bunch of them because I couldn't do anything else.
I was going to ask you to, if we had more time, I was going to ask you to make a spout for us because I like your spouts. How do you do your spouts?
Like on a pitcher or like a batter bowl?
Like a pitcher. Like do you do it like a cannoli with a stick?
No. Definitely.
You slap.
I don't know how cannolis are made, but I don't think so.
Well, you know,
let me pull this handle, and then I'll throw a pitcher real quick if you want me to.
A spout, you mean?
Yeah, I'll just throw a pitcher quick and put a spout on it.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we got another couple minutes.
I mean, I don't. If it's getting too late for you.
You're gonna look up and I'm gonna. No, I want to see how you make a spout because I love your spouts.
Yeah. So this is the nod to Matt Sheeman is the like seeing him pull his spouts when I was at that workshop was like, oh, okay. And it was just like, you know, one of those kind of epiphany moments.
Yes. I need an epiphany in spouts. So, yes.
Yeah. So, and then, I mean, I'm sure I do things differently than he does because it was that long ago. But that workshop was so great. I remember Eric saying, like, he's like, yeah, I feel like most of the time you go to a workshop and it's like there might not be anything like explicitly like big picture new, but there's always like a couple of gems.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's just a matter of like somebody doing something, and then after you see them do that, you're like, I've always thought about that, and now I have like permission to try it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you're like, oh, is this going to work? Is this not going to work? And yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm always up for like, oh, I'll just try it, and if it fails, then it fails. You know, like I'm much more willing to take risks with that sort of stuff than I like was in college and even a few years ago. It also helps that I have a plug mill and mixer for reclaim.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I had that one of those aha moments about 8 years ago, I guess, when I saw Sunshine Cobb's like a little 30-second video of her hand building and coil building, and I just looked at it and went, oh, that's a smart way to do that, and then I've been making it that way ever since. It's the weirdest thing. I actually got to do some more. I got to do some more hand building here. I've been throwing a lot. I've been back. I've been into the plain old bowls again. I just love a good salad bowl.
Yeah, I whenever I start like a new round of like making a whole bunch of stuff, if I like haven't been in the studio a lot for like a week or two, or You know, like if I'm like, oh, well, I've got a bunch of back-to-back studio or shows or just not in the studio for a while,
Yeah.
I always start with like cups or bowls because it's just like,
Yeah. Just gets you going.
yeah,
What do you
I
think?
love a good bowl.
What would you say as a full time potter now? What sells the most? Is it mugs?
You know, I think it's still mugs.
Yeah.
Definitely by quantity, it's mugs.
Yeah.
By dollar amount, like if I looked at my last show I had,
Yeah.
it might be like large statement pieces at this point.
Really?
I had a couple of, there's this, around here, there's this called the Fall Art Tour. And I think next year's the 30 something, 20 something. It's been going on almost as long as St. Croix, or about the same amount of time.
Okay.
But it's all mediums. And now that I live out here, I actually just found out this fall that I'm officially like a tenured member on it, so I don't have to like reapply anymore.
Sweet.
So that's really exciting, and I'll be right here at my studio for it. But I sold a number of like large vases and like a couple big bowls and like stuff that looks pretty on people's tables or mantles.
That's interesting because it's usually
Yeah.
the other way around, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think like historically it typically is, but I've definitely noticed, you know, over the last few years, you know, I do a lot of in-person sales and art fairs and that sort of thing. So like, where's my bucket? So like some of it is just like getting people to see your work more than once.
Yeah.
And so like I'm getting to the point now where I've got some returning customers,
Yeah.
which is a really just like the best compliment I think I can ever get is like somebody coming up to me in a show is like, I use your mug every day, or
Yeah.
we need to get more of them because my kid stole it, or
Yeah.
kind of thing. And it's fantastic. But like, so I have some folks that have like, oh, well, I've got, you know, like a mug or some plates or something like that. And then they're like, yeah, I want that $500 vase.
You're like, okay. Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, you know, so, but like the purchases like that, people, well, I suppose it might be different for like your friend you play golf with, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, most folks have to have a place in mind for something that size.
Yeah. They're like, I get the perfect spot for that. Yep.
Yeah. And usually it's not like it's not an impulse buy.
Yeah. No.
So
You know, I like to make large kind of centerpieces and big bowls. I like to make big like platters that I think people are going to use on like a dish to pass party. You know.
oh yeah.
You know, my wife has one of my big bowls, and she does like a hummus plate in it, and it's like a big thing of hummus in the middle, and all these vegetables around it, and everyone tries to steal that bowl every time we go to a party. Like, I love that bowl.
Oh, that sounds tasty.
I'll make you one. Like, oh well, we don't love it that much.
It's cold enough. Can you send some hummus with it too? It'll stay refrigerated, I think.
Right. You got like a puck of frozen hummus in the middle.
UPS, one of their dogs is like, oh, this one smells really good. Oh, what do they have in there? It's hummus.
The old hummus puck gets him every time.
Yeah. Either cocaine or hummus. I don't know. Can I say that on there? Is YouTube gonna yell at you?
Dude, that's funny. Yeah, the cops show up and like it's a raid, and they kick the door open. Ah, shit, it's hummus again.
Yeah.
just hummus.
It's like I know a number of folks that like first time firing a wood kiln, like classic that the fire department shows up.
Yeah.
Like not every time, but like I know it's happened to enough people that I know. Whether it's like, Oh, it's your first firing? Yeah, just be ready to like have a bunch of pizza when the fire department shows up.
I did a salt firing with Sean Murray from Alfred. Do you know Sean? Ever heard of Sean?
The name sounds familiar, but I can't place it.
Very cool guy. He's the new kiln tech. He took over for the famous Freddie Fredrickson there at Alfred, and he's a buddy of mine.
All right.
10 or 15 years ago, he says, "Hey, man, we got room in a soda kiln." Oh, a salt kiln. We got room in a salt kiln. You got any pots? I said, "Yep, I'll be right there." And I just, grabbed whatever I had sitting around and drove down to salt fire it. And, he would, fill up an angle iron with salt and then put it in the peephole and then dump it. And then he goes, "Now duck." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Duck." Like there was like this layer of sulfur just at about 5 feet high.
Chlorine. Oh.
Oh, and I looked downtown, Andrew, and it went all the way down Main Street. And I was like, oh boy, good thing it's Christmas break.
Oh God.
We smoked the whole town out.
Yeah,
But really good segue, actually. You just taught at, how do I say it? Is it Adama?
Adama.
You just taught a workshop there?
Yeah, well, so I just assisted with their wood firing a couple weeks ago. Yep.
How great is that place? I can't wait to get out there.
I love it. I've taught, so basically after we moved out here, like the following summer, they had hired a new director. And so like I reached out to her and was like, "Oh, hey, we just moved. I just moved to the area. Yada yada yada. I'd love to teach, workshops, whatever." So the last 2 summers, I ended up teaching like 2 different workshops both summers. So like I've taught a couple of glazed workshops there, and then a throwing workshop, and I built a rocket kiln for them as a workshop. So
cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. But I'm excited to get out there. I forgot how I got hooked up with them. I think they had something maybe on Instagram. It said, "Hey, you want to teach a workshop?" And I said, "Sure." So I'm excited.
Yeah. Tia's fantastic to work with. I'm sure that's who you've probably been emailing.
Correct. Yep.
And it's literally, depending on what side roads I take to get there, because from my house to where they are, there's like no direct route. And so this part of the country, so it's like Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, and Illinois, there's this section called the Driftless region. And basically the last ice age, the glaciers went like around it. So all of the landscape wasn't flattened out.
Really?
Yeah. So like I've talked to friends that like grew up in Appalachia, and then they're like, "Oh my God, Illinois is so flat." And then they like drive through southeast Wisconsin or that section of the 4 states there. And they're like, it almost felt like I was back home.
Huh.
It's super hilly and stuff. Yeah.
What's it called? The Dripless?
Driftless?
Oh, Driftless.
Driftless. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's really beautiful out here, and like I'm like a mile from the Wisconsin River. So like there's a couple of like I just listened to Sandhill Cranes all evening. I feel like most of the summer, which is really great. But
You'll have to come hang out.
Yeah, definitely. And there's it's a really great spot. Super beautiful location.
Some of them.
They've like done some major studio upgrades in the last couple of years.
Cool.
You're in like October, right?
Yeah, it has to be kind of end of the golf season.
Yep. So I was gonna say last year they got air conditioning in the studio.
Ah.
Which is a huge thing. If you've
Yeah.
ever been in the upper Midwest in like July and August.
I can't imagine.
And it's like, oh my gosh, game changer.
I know some of these schools, like I taught at Aramont, they'll let you bring an assistant. I don't know if Aramont does that or not.
I think I could not give you a straight answer on that one.
I'll have to
I
ask.
would say ask.
Because if they do, you should come hang out and assist with me and just throw pots all week.
Yeah.
If you can get a week away, that you do have a baby.
Well, I could probably come down for a day or something.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's like right down the road. So, or like Wednesdays are cook's night off. So usually everybody goes out to eat on Wednesday night. So there's a handful of different places to go, but I could certainly join you for dinner.
Sweet, that'd be great. All right, what do you got? So you threw a pitcher. How many pounds was that? Is that 3 pound ball?
5?
That's a 5 pound ball. Okay.
Well, so it's about,
Oh, you're gonna facet it.
yeah, just yeah. So
You
when
just
I
use a
fastened
cheese cutter.
cheese slicer.
Yeah.
Yep. So what I need to do before I fasten it is the top portion that's like where the spout is. I kind of predefine that and throw that thinner. If I don't throw that ahead of time, there's not enough like support from the clay below it, and it'll like, slump everything down. So you kind of have to like, took me a few ruined pictures to figure that out. Like, it was one of those things where I'm like, well, I know how to make like a pitcher, but how do I figure out how to make my pitcher?
I wanted to see you make a teapot spout, but this is even better.
Oh, okay.
But we can do both. Sure, tell us how you do your teapot spouts. Do you like I said, like cannoli style or?
Oh, okay. I've gone back and forth. I keep changing that up. I've made a couple of like tar paper or paper templates, and then fold them together.
Well, slab bill.
Yeah. I was doing.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'd actually make a thick, and then I'd press it in like a drape mold, and then put it together. So I haven't like found like, it's how do I do this the most efficient way possible for me?
Yeah.
And I've tried throwing them, and I can't get like the curve.
Yeah.
Like coming up and. And I've tried like bending it while it's still wet and stuff, and it just never quite looks right. There's always like a kink in it when I do it.
Yeah,
that way.
it creases. Then you can dart it on the bottom side. It's yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh no, I made it too thin to dart it, so there's no clay left to attach anything. And yeah.
Oh, let's see. So that's a slump mold, right?
So yeah, I've kind of gone back and forth between slump mold and doing like a paper template and then fold it to. I guess that'd be like cannoli style, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a funny shaped cannoli, but
cannolis are so tasty it doesn't matter how they're shaped, right?
I'll take that. Yeah, whipped cream and chocolate chips. Yes, please.
I'll show you my fastener. Where is my fastener here? I bought a couple of these a few years ago. It's like
nice.
So it's got like
Who makes those?
and it's just so simple. I just go zip, 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 and it's got thin and thick because I'm never smart enough to throw the walls thick enough, and then I cut through the side of the pot, and then I go, dang it, and I throw the pot across the room.
Yeah, I always, whenever I teach this, folks are like, Carl, how do you just like do that so perfect? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Nobody sees the like 100 of them that I've cut through,
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't hardly ever, it's like at this point, like I cut through like, 0.1% of the things that I make,
Yeah.
The biggest issue is, this clay's a little, my reclaims, I usually grab some stiffer clay for pitchers just because they get a little, when they get thin. So
sometimes you'll facet it, and then when you go to bend the body out, you just rip it. Ugh.
Yeah. This Brooklyn Red, actually, I've done it where, let me find my rib quick. I've actually, I've blown out holes in things, and it's still like maintained integrity.
Really?
And I'm like, I can see inside of that, but like, if you turned it around, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So I'll if that happens, I'll usually let it set up a little bit, and then I'll put a little patch on the inside. And I'm like, that's great. And then folks see it, and they're like, Did it like rip apart? What happened? I was like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool. Like,
Yeah.
that is so awesome.
That's awesome. I really like the Brooklyn Red. Like when I first played with it, what I used for years was Alfred's clay body, and it was super groggy. So I thought I was going to have to like add some fine grog to this Brooklyn Red, but I don't. It's actually pretty nice to play with. And it turns out like I was really upset. I'm like, oh my god, I got to switch clay bodies. This is going to suck. And I got Brooklyn Red, and I kind of like it better than what I was using for the last 8-10 years.
This is one of the most user-friendly clay bodies I have ever used.
Yep. Good
like,
job.
I can get away with attaching like fresh pulled handles on stuff that I'm like, oh shoot, the rim's starting to get a little lighter in color. And like, you know, like, and then I'll just cover it up for a day and then like just like go in with like a little like chopstick and just like compress the attachment on the edge and there's like no cracking. And I'm like, sweet.
Woo, it worked. I got away with that.
Yeah. And then I go and use some porcelain for a wood firing and I'm like, oh shoot, can't get away with that now.
Yeah. You know, the last workshop I taught at Aramont, I drove down, which was like 12 hours from my house, but I brought my own clay because I didn't want to be like at a workshop and going, well, this works at my house, you know?
Like, yeah, I've heard you say that, and I was gonna say like, you let me know if you like need one because they have a handful of set clays there.
Oh, Adam.
Yeah, I know they don't have Brooklyn Red, but like, we could probably get you some.
Okay, yeah.
Like, don't drive to Wisconsin with Brooklyn Red.
I was gonna drive anyway. I told you I'm going to stop and play that golf course, I think.
Yeah, Erin Hills. So a good friend of mine, Jean Wells, she's a potter. Look her up if you don't know who that is. She's in Milwaukee and does awesome sgraffito work. When the men's tour was through, what, like 2 years ago at Erin Hills?
I believe so, yep.
And then this last was the women's tour.
Yeah, the ladies were there last year, I think.
Yeah, and they've done like a handmade thing at some of the tours now or something. I don't know, but so she made a bunch of like commemorative like work that was like only available there kind of stuff. It was really neat.
Oh, that's very cool.
So
Jean,
hand sgraffitoed and stuff. Yeah.
Jean, Jean Wells.
Jean. Jean. Yeah.
Oh, look her up. Yeah, I'm dying to play that. That looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like I feel like I know so many potters that, you know, are full-time potters that are like, and, you know, folks are like, who? I've never heard of that person, you know? But then like around Milwaukee, it's like she'll go to same shows I do and she'll sell 3 times as much as I do.
Yeah.
You know? And
you know, it's weird. I was talking to, he was on the show, Eric Beavers a couple of weeks ago. And it's so funny when you're like, oh, do you know so-and-so? And you're like, I don't think so. And then he'll show you their mug and like, you go, oh, this guy. You go, oh, yeah, I know who that is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know his work. Yeah. All right.
I'm about to put the spout on.
Let's do it. It's almost Daddy's bedtime.
Yep. All right.
I
don't have a bedtime story for you, but
I got to take my meds before I go to sleep. Oh man! Oh, so real quick, I was looking at your Instagram and I saw you barefoot on the kick wheel. You crazy man!
Oh yeah, it's because I wear studio Crocs.
Oh yeah,
Crocs and kick wheels do not go together well.
No, sir. Yeah,
yeah. It's I'm wearing socks with them right now, but that's only when it's cold out.
That's your first step into dad world. Socks and Crocs and don't care.
Yeah, well, it's like 12 degrees.
-4 degrees.
I'm gonna wear socks. It's cold. It's 64 in my studio.
You know what I just ordered? I just ordered a pair of clogs, but they're like rubber clogs, not like the old wooden ones. For the studio, they're supposed to be crazy comfortable. So we'll find out.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a pair of Birks that I wear in public, you know, but I don't. Yeah, the Crocs at this point are just, I've matured. I'm not wearing Crocs in public anymore.
I wish I could see that a little bit better. I'll see it better when I do the video, but that's a great form.
Thank you. Try not to suck. That's the goal.
Yeah. Goal number one.
And then just make every pot better than the last one, and you'll
Yeah.
get there eventually.
Yep.
All
You
right,
know,
so
it's funny. Go ahead. Let's see
is
it.
it going to be a pain in the butt if I move the camera quick?
No, do it. Let's go. I ain't scared. What's the worst that could happen?
Drop my iPad and break it?
Into the slip bucket.
Oh, yeah. I've already got a crack on my screen, so like its days are limited, but
Yeah, yeah.
and it's like old enough where it's not worth.
Oh, here we go. Here we
I need
go.
to like I need a bucket to set my stand on.
That's a good sized space. It's a big garage.
Yeah, yeah. It's well, I can give you a little spin around here after we're done, but yeah, it's I don't know. I have a lot of shit in here,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff. So, all right. So this was the thing that I saw Matt do, and I was like, "You can do that?" And you're like, "Well, you kind of ruin a few of them, and then you figure out where to go." So it's I always say like with anything with clay is like you kind of have to go over the cliff a couple times to know where the cliff is.
Okay.
With whatever clay body you're using, or if it's a new technique or something. So I'm going to pull up on this pretty aggressively.
Yeah.
And so that's what's going to get like the spout kind of lifting off of the form.
Okay.
Sorry, our Lily, my dog's barking at me probably because she's like it's bedtime, but she's deaf, so she doesn't hear me telling her to stop.
Yeah, I have one of those. Yep.
So I'm just picking a side to.
So you're going to pull up on it with wet fingers or dry fingers?
So dry hands. And I rib. The top has been ribbed off, so this is like pretty dry.
Okay, good. Yep.
So I can, and so the number one issue people have is they're way too tentative. You have to be really deliberate. So just kind of grab the clay, and you want to have as much surface area contact as you can, so you don't. Otherwise, if you like pinch, you'll rip through. Whereas if you're grabbing with like, don't do this, do this.
Okay.
So it's like the opposite of throwing.
Okay.
And I'm lifting up and actually away from me.
Oh, okay. In towards the middle. Okay.
Yeah, so like if there was like a point up here in the middle, that's kind of what I'm up here.
Okay. Yep.
That's what I'm aiming for. And I just kind of wiggle it to get the clay moving. And then I'll kind of pull up a little bit to kind of define the throat.
Yeah.
Which is what's going to like funnel the liquid into the spout.
Then you're pulling up about an inch apart or 2 inches apart.
Yeah.
Okay.
About that. So, I mean, you can see that changed the profile quite a bit.
Oh,
yeah. And if this was a little firmer clay, I might have been able to pull it up a little more even.
Okay.
But I really like the I was thinking of them as like penguins or like like that like strut around and waddle kind of shape.
Yeah, kind of
really proud. Yeah, or like foghorn leghorn. I was like chest out, strutting around. Like I want it to be proud.
Yeah, I'll say that's a joke song.
I say now, I say. Yeah. So then at this point, to get the actual spout to pour, you can either support from the bottom or from the top. I'm going to go from the top.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm actually moving my hand back and forth.
Yep.
For the most part. Not up and not this.
Yeah. Okay. This. Yep. With a wet finger.
With a wet finger. And I'm just kind of going back and forth and slowly stretching that out. And I'm just making sure my finger's pointing to like the back opposite side.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get, and so this is like halfway through.
Oh, I love it. Yep. You're making me want to throw a pitcher now. I haven't thrown a pitcher in a long time.
And then I'm just thinning out the very top, but I'm actually reaching all the way down to about here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pushing all of this out when I do it.
Okay.
and that just helps it pour better. So it's all about directing the flow of the liquid. And then the angle that this comes off at is super important. So I'm just going to go back and straighten this out a little bit, because I just spent a bunch of time making it shorter again.
Yeah. No, yeah, I love how high that is. You're right. It kind of like leans back, kind of like we were talking about Bot Bill's pieces.
Yeah. Yep. So the Clary Ilian has a book, the Potter's Workbook. I think it's like a teal cover with a gray picture on the front of the book.
Yep.
And she's got a section in there where she talks about pitchers, and there's two parts to a pitcher. There's the containing part, and there's the pouring part.
Mm-hmm.
So when you've got a pitcher full, so if somebody looked at this pitcher, like unless you're an idiot 12-year-old, like I totally was, and filled it all the way to the very top, like you're filling it up to like here.
Yeah.
So when that goes to pour forward, the liquid, so when that liquid is out,
yep.
Does that make sense what I'm saying? So this is the top of the liquid?
Yep.
This needs to be ideally like just below parallel with the tangent of that liquid. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
So that way it comes out without dribbling back down.
Yeah, that's very good.
So it's a little better like visual representation, I think. I don't know. I've had that explained to me poorly far too many times.
No, that's great. I might have to throw a picture tomorrow morning. I'm going to send you a picture.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So then I just kind of straighten everything out a little bit. I might put my like thumbnails and like define this a little bit. This is just aesthetics. But then I usually push in a little bit here. And then it's just kind of like...
That's great. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. And then stop touching it.
So that's awesome. We got a great spout demo.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw one. And
so then stop touching it and let it set up. And then the only thing you should not clean up is the very lip, because you want a crisp lip so it cuts off the flow.
Yeah. I talk to people a lot about that, you know, especially as a hand builder too. It's like, and I was telling, who was it the other day? Was on the show. I was like, oh, it was Demi Demlo.
Okay.
And you know, I was like, it's hard when you're teaching a workshop. When you go down in the morning, you roll out some slabs, you cut out your pieces, and you go, okay, now let's go for a walk. And they're like, what do you mean? We're here to learn. I'm like, well, yeah, you need to leave that for 2 hours until you can come back and just barely bend that slab. You know, I think people try to work with stuff that's too wet and they get frustrated. I'm like, just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I do like 4 things at a time. I'll have 4 pieces going because I'm an idiot and I can't touch it. You know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I was like, I need something to take my mind off of messing with this stuff.
Otherwise, let's make 3 more pictures while we're waiting.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So let's do your tip and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. All right. So my tip, this is more of I've got a life tip and then a studio tip.
Perfect.
So life tip. And this was really tough for me, like when I was still in college, but like, you know, or high school or whatever early stage of life you're at, but like thinking about where you want to be, you know, like when people say, oh, what are you going to do in 10 years? You know, that's really amorphous when you're in high school, but like, not necessarily like what you're doing, but like, what do you want your lifestyle to be like? And then just think about what you need to do to get there and find like some mentors that are living a life like you would want to have and figure out how they're doing it.
Yeah. Ask them how they did it.
Yeah. So like I've had a number of mentors. You know, I was undergrad for a year is not an art degree. You know, it's not.
No.
But, you know, it was the pot of gold that I stepped in was, you probably know Steve Rolfe. He was an Alfred guy.
Yeah.
Probably about the same time you were there.
No, I went late in life.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he was probably gone then.
Yeah, but I
Um,
know the name. Yep.
yeah, so him and well, his family and my wife's family are like church family friends. Like she babysat his kids when they were little, and
Oh
like
wow. Yep.
yeah, his daughter just graduated college, this past spring and whatnot. But like right after college, I was like, oh, I'll make bud vases for our wedding. 250 bud vases later, might not have been a great idea, but he like let me fire stuff in his gas kiln and bis stuff and I like had no idea who he was at the time.
Yeah.
And then like right after that, it might have been like that fall, Ceramics Monthly comes and it's like a pot of his on the cover. And you're like, oh. So I like fell into a pot of gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, and he's just the nicest guy ever. But
most potters are.
Yeah. And there have been a number of other folks, but like, yeah, find somebody that's doing things the way that you would want to be doing things 10, 15, 20 years down the line, and learn, shoulders of giants.
Yeah, no, that's a great tip.
Yeah.
And like I said, I learned a lot early on because I didn't go to school for this. I learned a lot just by asking those mentors. Hey, and I swear I got to the point where they must have been like, they saw me coming, like, oh God, here he comes again. I'm like, I got questions. I want to know, how do I do this? And why does this happen? And they all just gave me their time so freely. So go ahead and ask. That's what I always say.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was the second?
Studio tip. I was sitting on a really shitty chair for the last 10 years, and I went and I bought a drum throne. That's my tip.
A drum? Oh, a drum chair?
Like go to Guitar Center or a music store.
Yes.
And buy a drum throne. And it goes all the way up to stool height. So I can sit at my tall tables, and it's like, it pops apart so I can take it with me really easily if I'm like doing demos somewhere.
Yeah. Brilliant.
And it swivels, and it was, yeah, it's they're like not. I think it was like $150, so it's not super cheap, but like for a nice chair, it's not overpriced at all, and it's game changer.
Yeah, I just got this stool. Is one of these big old like 1950s metal bar stool thing for $20 at the yard sale.
Nice.
It's the perfect height, and I'm not leaning over and hurting my shoulders and whatnot. But
oh yeah.
Awesome, dude. We're almost at 2 hours. We're almost at the
holy buckets.
That's great. I knew it would be. I knew this would be fun. I appreciate your time. Last but not least, tell us website, galleries, where can people buy and find your work?
Yeah, lindermanpottery.com. Social media is at Linderman Pottery, and I've got a couple. I know I still had one or two mugs left at Able Contemporary's got a mug show right now, or a cup holiday show. I think that's the only. Oh, and Highland Gallery, which is in South Bend, Indiana. Alec, who runs that's super great. He's got some of my work there. So support both of them. I don't have anything in my online store until Monday. So I've got my annual holiday studio sale this weekend. So I have like a bunch of glazing to do when we get off tonight. So
yeah, I hear you. I got a shop update tomorrow. So before I was waiting for you, I was taking all the computer work we were talking about earlier that you hate, and I was like making a listing for every cup and every bowl. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Killer. Good luck with the sale.
Yeah, man.
Sell out.
You as well. And I will see you next October. We'll hang out. We'll have dinner. And I know I'll see you.
Or in Sika before.
Yeah, in Sika. We'll get some Chinese or something.
Yeah, sounds great. Awesome.
I appreciate it so much.
Chatting, Mike. Have a good one.
Yeah, take it easy. Good luck with Esther. Stick around so we can let this upload too. Hold on.
Yeah.